this upcoming video. However, this just happened. Y'all remember in the last video, I was addressing some of the nonsense some of these nonsense things that happen where people are making allegations. Jonathan Kleck, he's a false prophet now. I have zero fear of this false prophet. Those hateful statements being made. This hateful statement being made about my coat of arms, and I just speak very plainly. When the Lord revealed to me there was a coat of arms named Kleck. Can you imagine you're me, and you're walking on pure faith? Yes, the Lord told me to announce His arrival. That's not an easy thing to do.
If anybody's calling anybody a false prophet, well, everybody's entitled to whatever they want to call is what they're gonna do anyway, regardless. So when I talk about the false prophet scenario, or if I talk about the beast scenario, or the dragon, I'm always trying to find out the meaning of it. I may try to look at a literal person representing it, but I know it's not just that, just a literal person. So I try to figure out who they are. And so what Father told me was, just keep questioning who's who, what's what, where's where. Even if you've repeated yourself already, repetition. The more you do it, the more you're going to remember it. It's muscle memory. And then if you get corrected at some point, then that's where you're going to stand. You're going to stand corrected. Anybody who has the same spirit that what my father was telling me is that if you get something wrong, if you falsely accuse somebody who's really one of my children, Robin, they're not going to be offended for real, and they're going to understand that you're just confused because you're the only one down there that they have specifically aimed a sharp target at you, because for some reason you just don't want to comply with the easier way of life. You just feel like you have to go do things the hard way, don't you? Like working for a living. So what he's telling me is, if anybody truly does get offended with what I'm saying because I misinterpreted who you are or who you aren't, if you're a child of God, you're not going to be offended. You're going to understand, and you're going to help to try to guide whoever it is that's misguided. Now, when I try to figure things out, I say, all right, well, this is what I think. As the YouTube world turns, I'm picking out characters that have a role to be that character. And I may misinterpret that person for that character, but by no means am I saying that anybody who is acting evil, that they truly are that way in real life. It's possible that they are. But I always leave it open that they just may be acting. And they're damn good actors. That's what I said to my wife. I said, somebody's going to get the greatest actor or / actress award in the end, and I'm going to hand it to you, because basically, here's how I hand you your Academy Award. Psst, hey, it's Robin. And I'll be in their ear. They'll hear me in their ear, and I'll say, you just won the award. because the show's over. I cast my ballot. I've come to the conclusion that's who it is. Because there's great actors. Trump said before that there's bad actors, but on the YouTube platform, there's way, way better actors, way more professional than the crisis ones that I've seen on the television set. You guys are good. I just want to give you credit where credit is due. So yeah, Father told me that don't worry about it, Robin. Just keep saying what you need to say until they beat you to death. And after that, I mean, look, you're going to be in heaven after that. So just be thankful that you get to die pretty soon. And it's like, all right, well, yeah, I guess it's going to hurt and everything, but you're right. I will be in heaven because that's where I believe I'm going. And I'll go there. But in the meantime, there's a script that's in this YouTube platform as the world turns. Who are all the characters? I do feel bad when I say, if I feel like I got somebody wrong. Because shouldn't I know by now already? Shouldn't I have figured it all out completely on my own? Within only 5 years of a period of time? Yeah, I'm sure I should. So really, I think at some point, everybody will know all of the truth and they'll just be speaking it. No more games. So in the meantime, games are being played until the very end. And I don't really truly know the scriptures. And if I did, I would know exactly what to do at all times. Just like Stephen James Deshawn knows exactly what to do at all times. Even if things are made up, you still got to come up with a plan, right? What's the plan? What's the realistic plan? What's the in between? What's the 411? What's the right thing to do? And who is Kathy and Karen, by the way, and Jim? Kathy, Karen, and Jim. I keep hearing about them. Something about, I don't know, there's some kind of land that they swapped up for, or maybe like a house somewhere with some land they swapped up for something with somebody. The dad was a really nice guy. But the son, there was something about the son that was really like really? Just like that. Sometimes people can be real sons of bitches, man, I'll tell you. Real son of a guns. Where am I even going? What am I even doing? What's today? Today is it's January. It's October 18th, 2022. Manayunk, Bridge Ave, Philadelphia. I feel like I put in 10 hours yesterday. I put in 8 hours today. I came in a little later because I wanted to get a little bit extra sleep. Tomorrow, I think I'll work longer, get here earlier. But today, I feel like just taking a little trip down memory lane. No real reason besides I like the area of BeeraSHEba, and I don't know what time they're open till. I think they closed Friday on like 6 p.m. But maybe that's because it was only Friday and they weren't open late. It was unusual because why would you close so early? You're losing out on money. The cafe and the little BeeraSHEba stand. I haven't seen that statue in a while. The one with the sword out. The king there. It's like a king sword from the king, drawn out. Test the spirits any way that you can, really. No better way to try to test spirits in person too, instead of just through video. Is it possible that somebody could be just as good as anybody on the planet, like Jesus Christ himself, and just as evil as anybody on the planet, just like Satan himself? Is there anybody, has there ever been anybody like that? Or is Christ just the only one and then others are only Christ? Or is there someone that has that ability, that was all evil at one point and then got that all good portion mixed in there with the DNA, which makes him like a full beast, a complete beast? Because you can judge your own kind because you've received a new spirit. And that's the creation. That's God's creation. Satan's creation is the creation of the evil, purely. God's creation is he took the purely evil and instilled the spirit of Christ inside of that beast. So is it possible that that's what that means? The Pope having the black and white Pope, he's complete good and evil. So whoever the Pope is. This is Boathouse Row. People go rowing their boats over there. And they can go fishing by the curb. Like curb fishing. It's like a concrete section. So I think I'm gonna stop by and just I'm gonna see that check out that statue again, and then to go down to BeeraSHEba. So when you test the spirits, you're gonna know whether you feel threatened or not, in order to believe in somebody with what somebody's saying, or you're gonna know that you're threatened or not if you don't comply with someone's desires or demands, basically. So you'll be able to find that out, but you have to test it. You have to pursue it. You gotta push it. You gotta poke the lions to see if is that what you are, mirror? Or you gonna roar, I am? Or everything has been fulfilled with what has already been planned. You know that? With what everybody planned, that already was fulfilled. Now we're living in a time where it's the risen Christ, the Spirit, rising up, starting on the YouTube platform, then into the world itself through the people behind closed doors. This portion of the Bible apparently hasn't been written because nobody can really have too many stories about Christ rising besides they seen him for 40 days. they ate some things and stuff, and then that's it, and he ascended up. So there's no real history of the true risen Christ besides them following him and seeing his day-to-day routine after he rose from the dead. Because in the book of Acts, it sounds like he's dead, and they're talking to him in spirit. But what if they're just talking to him through the YouTube platform, and that is the spirit? That's the Spirit of Christ rising in the world. What if it's something that damn simple? Everybody wants to take claim to a title. I've even tried to find who the people are so I can hand them the title of who they are. Just, I recognize, hey, that's you. Wow, so that's you, Peter, in the Bible? My goodness. And Paul, that's you too. Jesus, and that's you. And John, and it's crazy. I get to witness this. So again, I'm just a spirit that hopped into the YouTube platform, and I'm another voice that you might hear in your ear. You may listen to me so much that you hear the things that I say and they make your life easier. And then you stop warring with certain things that you now can control because I went through it and you've watched me go through it, and then I battled it off. So it's like when I can imagine that they tried to tell Christ, like, no, Jesus, you're King David. Go, there's BeeraSHEba over there. This is your time, David. Trying to get Christ to sin. And I'm sure Satan, he waits for an opportune time, doesn't he? I mean, he will not hesitate to take care of the people that'll bow down to him. He takes care of you better than God does. Think about that one. In real life, when you just bow down to Satan, what do you get? What do you get? Everything. You get everything. Some of you may not even feel like you're controlled. You love it. It's a way of life. And, you know, for the most part, I can't seem to blame you for it because the life is an easier way, ain't it? You may not always want to do what you're told, but you accept it immediately, and that's why you get trapped into it. I don't ever want to feel controlled, and I don't have to feel controlled. I don't have to do anything because this portion of my life is being written now, and I'm writing it. So it's not like somebody can point to a verse and say, Robin, you must take a look at that statue for a moment. Yep. I will do it. I will go take a look at that statue. Eventually. Now is the eventuality. The eventuality. I gotta say, it's the most unusual statue that I've ever really seen. Doesn't it look like he's like, who seeth us? Who knoweth us? Or he can just be looking ahead. Spirit of the Enterprise. Theodore Roosevelt. So Theodore 237. This may be Theodore Roosevelt and the Mount Rushmore door that's behind him. Door 237. Don't open the door because of the fallen angel. As if that's a door. Don't open it, because then because what if he and her represents, what if that is really underneath the dress? My, what big feet you have, ma'am, sir. There's the big wheel. It keeps on turning. She has an axe in her hand. That's frightening as all hell. Especially when this guy here, he has that, but he doesn't have the rest. You can see that as the two become one, like the male and female become one system. But this is also two become one, because these two here, it looks like they both are high-fiving each other with this kid right here. So that kid is right there with these two witnesses high-fiving each other. Two of them becoming one. Declaration of Independence. Now it's time for the birth of the nation, the actual spiritual nation. So anything I hear on YouTube, the first thing I do is, all right, what's the real meaning behind the story that I'm being told? And it may sound insensitive if the story was true, but I know that it's always a script and things just happen, and here comes the story, and this is what it is. So I'll interpret the story or I'll poke and see what the story means when I talk about it. The front is the lighthouse of Boat Row. The guy even said that he requested for the box when it closes to put SpongeBob's eyes on it, because he said it looks like SpongeBob too. I just referred it to him. The video where the guy was singing the song here, he's like, oh yeah. So that's representing Christ in a shofar with his sword drawn.
Talked to him and his wife about their son, and I said, sure. So they said, would you meet us over at this friend of ours' house? And when I went over there, it was just weird. It was a little awkward. I said, yeah, the best way just to describe it is, the Lord just called me as a harbinger to announce his arrival. And then I walk in, and this is what was on the table. This is what was on the table: a shofar, and this thing that says "chosen to proclaim." And I had just gone past on the way there, in Corville.
The eagle.
This
sword.
This image of the king and the shofar. And so that lady knew, oh my God, that's impossible. That lady knew. That's why when Karen and this image of the king and the shofar. And so that lady knew, oh my God, that's impossible. That lady knew it. That's why when Karen and her sister, who are just filled with vitriol, that's all they have. I feel sorry for them. It's pathetic. But anyway, that's why when they're casting dispersions on my coat of arms and making fun of it like he wears it as a badge of honor, of course, it's like the Lord let me know. Yeah, you represent me, and now those very same people are calling me a false prophet. Anyway, so he wears it as a badge of honor, of course. It's like the Lord
Imagine
let
you're
me know. Yeah,
going down Benjamin Franklin Parkway, and you see the art museum on the left-hand side.
Anyway, so here's what's happened. Today, the Lord told me, I want you to go to where that statue is. Out of left field, I was talking with Dave on the phone. Anyway, so here's what's happened. Today, the Lord told me, I want you to go to where that statue is. Out of left field, I was talking with Dave on the phone, and I was talking to Dave on the phone about that park, because Dave, the Wave, and Eric and Susie had gone to Kerrville to go fishing the other day, and they were going to go by that park, and they never made it. And I heard in my spirit, I want you to go there today. So I'm going to go there right now. I'm going to give this video to Corey, and I'm going to go do my little...
Hello?
It's 5:56.
Hello?
October 18th,
Are you in a blue car?
2022.
Like you hit the whole way.
How long ago did it turn 5:55? A minute ago. That'd be something. If that was the lady, and that was the statue, and this is the park.
I'm gonna have to go to her made it, and I heard in my spirit, I want you to go there today. So I'm gonna go there right now. I'm gonna give this video to...
You know, I already had in my mind to come down here to see what time they close, because then I'll know they close at 6. So then now I know for sure that if I work 10 hours and I come down here, they'll be closed. So now I know.
Corey, and I'm gonna go do my little visit and see what the Lord what He has for me, and see why does He want me to go. And I'm gonna go there, and then when I get there and I'm leaving, I'm gonna have Corey post this video right now.
Oh, hey, look, my cross is ready for me too. Look. Look at that. That's where I get to be nailed. Steve, are you going to nail me? I mean, is that where I get nailed to? The cross? You can't make this stuff up. That's right in the front of the road, too. Heron Road. Where Herod and Pilate. And, So you're saying you're going to rebuild it in 6 days, and my plan was to head down there and go on vacation. That was my plan. So now it changes a little bit because, all right, well, I mean, I'm willing to do some work, but no need to pay me. Whatever I do. If I put in a day's pay, I just freed up $150 of yours. You can pay someone like Glenn Carlson to come down, fill his gas tank with that $150 back and forth, and all he got to do is come down the one day and work with me, and he'll get my pay, and then he can come down there and help out at the same time. So I think that's a pretty good idea as well. But no, I don't want to get paid. If I can help, if that's how I can truly help, all jokes aside, then I'm willing to do it with my hands. But not when you're expecting to take a vacation. If I didn't know any better, Steve, he just likes to have a little bit of control. Even if he just wants to tell me what to do. That's all. He wants to put me to work. Well, I don't want to work like that, Steve. I want to come down there and see you and hang out with you. And then whoever, however, whatever. But it has to all be in line with the same Father that I'm talking about. So, Father told me, test the spirits as much as you can. Test your own spirit. Get rid of any fears in your heart and just go with the flow of what you need to do, and I'll be with you. Oh, he's showing you a cross? Well, hey, maybe you're going to get freaking nailed to it, and then you'll finally be free. But this whole thing is a script, and I'm just honored to be a part of it. Even if you guys are just mocking me and laughing at me, even right now, like as you just surveil me walking, talking to you, just laughing at me, just as long as I can get you guys to enjoy something, even if it's at my expense. It's all good. It's always going to be all good. Just fascinated by it all the time. Little critters. Can you imagine being stuck in a squirrel's body after being a human? This sums it all up. The whole system has a freaking screw loose, and it needs to be fixed. Judy Wood. How much wood could a woodchuck, if a wood could chuck wood? I guess that much, huh? He's basically answered my question. I just hope that every time I push record that I can be useful to you.